Hey guys, I just got back from seeing a Minecraft movie, and it's a movie of all time, I think. I had low expectations going in since this movie is pretty much nothing special and mostly advertised as a goofy movie. And I watched it, and it certainly is. It's unsurprisingly mediocre. It was also the first time that I actually watched a movie by myself in the theater without my family, and it felt really weird. But I have some positives for this movie. The cameos and references were pretty neat. I like the YouTuber cameos, but they really don't talk at all, and they are just standing there. I clapped when Dan TDM showed up. The Jeb cameo was cool, but he also doesn't speak. Herobrine reference was pretty cool. I love how his eyes are white during that Enderman scene while everyone else is just purple. And also, Minecraft Dungeons and Legends mentioned. Also, I love how Mumbo Jumbo has his mustache, but he is dressed like a redneck that is really funny. Like, it's just really funny. Someone give me the skin of Mumbo Jumbo as a redneck, please. I'm begging you, please. And of course, the best part of this movie is, of course, the Techno Boy tribute. You know that I saluted and clapped during that scene. That was nice. For some problems, the characters aren't really that great. They're okay at best, with Steve being some kind of mentor, which is pretty nice, and Jason Momoa is a bit of a loser, and that's funny, and also the best character in the movie. Some of the others are really nothing too special at all, especially that one woman that I forgot her name. I really don't have much to say about her. Some of the jokes were kind of funny, but some stuff really made me groan a bit, especially that Unalive bit. Ugh. The songs were okay, but nothing too special, but they're better than Amelia Paris, so there's that. And the plot and writing are weak and basic as expected. This is what 28 writers does to you. Alright, let's get into some spoilers. Skip to this time frame to avoid spoilers or whatever. 3, 2, 1. The movie begins with Steve being bored of his mundane life and decides to yearn for the mines, where he finds the Orb of Resistance and the Earth Crystal. And he goes to the Minecraft world and runs wild in his imagination of the Minecraft world. Wow! He also meets a pet dog named Dennis, and life was good for them. So they head to the Nether, where they are captured by the evil Malgosha Piglin lady, played by Grandma Tala, who is just kinda there. She really doesn't add much in this movie. Also, her backstory is just kind of ridiculous. Like, she wanted to be a dancer and whatnot, and then got rejected by the Piglins, and really doesn't go anywhere. Why was that there? You really shouldn't take it seriously. Then Steve and Dennis escape with the orb, but then he gets captured, and then Dennis heads to the real world to keep the orb safe in his house. And then the movie shifts to present day, where Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, who's basically the best character in the whole movie, is past his prime as a video gamer and is about to lose all of his finances, including his own store. He finds the orb in the storage unit while doing an auction because he wanted an Atari, and really doesn't go anywhere. Also, Tamatoa shows up, and yeah, that's about it. Emma Myers and his little brother move into a town in Idaho called Chuglass, where they meet Dawn, who really doesn't get a lot of focus in this movie. Natalie and his little brother Henry just recently lost their mom. And Henry is just kind of just sad now. He really hasn't gotten a lot of imagination too much. And he's down on his luck. They have recently lost their mom, which really doesn't add too much in this movie because they really don't talk about it too much, and it really doesn't add anything since this movie doesn't take itself too seriously. Henry tries to build a jetpack, but these little bullies just destroy his jetpack and whatnot. But eventually he meets Garrett, and they find the orb and head to the Minecraft world in the mine with Emma Myers and that Dawn character who really doesn't add too much. And of course, they get into some wacky hijinks while Pink Sheep just gets completely molded by a zombie. Gareth breaks the end crystal during those wacky hijinks before they are saved by Steve, who escaped the Nether, so that he can retrieve the orb. While TikTok music plays, and he says the very funny line. They head to Midport Village to get a new crystal from the Woodland Mansion, and during around this time, Steve introduces all the mobs, like the villagers and the Iron Golem. Of course, a little pig there. And then they sing about lava chicken and whatnot. And then after that, there's an argument scene where Emma Myers gets mad at her brother for his kind of weird antics, and that really hurts his feelings, and then goes with Steve and Garrett. Then they head to the crafting scene, where this is one of the only scenes where they use Minecraft's creativity to its full potential.
This is a crafting table.
And of course, Henry is basically just a modder. Like, they actually mentioned it during the behind the scenes, and it's kind of sad that they didn't use it to its own full potential. During around that time, Malgosia summons General Chungus to kill the main characters, and then there's a big fight scene at the Midport Village and whatnot. The main characters split up, and there's an Elijah scene, which admittedly is pretty fun. And of course, Jack Black and Jason Momoa do a 69. And oh yeah, don't forget the water bucket release. Steve, Henry, and Garrett all head to a mine where they find diamonds and whatnot. And then there's an argument scene again where Garrett is going to use all the diamonds to pay for his finances and whatnot. And then Henry gets mad at him because he's an unruly bitch. Oh yeah, this dramatic scene is probably why Valkyrie got cut from the movie, I guess. And then they all head to a minecart where Malgosia killed General Chungus and then replaced him with a great hog. And they start chasing the main characters, and then they escape. And oh yeah, Steve built a creeper farm for some reason, I don't know why. During around this time, Emma Myers and Dawn just head to the forest where they find Dennis, and of course we don't see them again and for a while, since during around this time they just built a mushroom house. Then Steve, Henry, and Garrett all head to the Woodland Mansion where Jack Black and Garrett just do a mushroom hat birthday party, and Henry heads to the storage room to find the earth crystal, and then encounters an Enderman who basically gives him hallucinations where there's some weird glowy eye thing that Jack Black has. I don't know why. During around this time, we got the infamous chicken jockey scene where they are forced into a boxing ring, and of course Garrett eventually defeats the chicken jockey with the help of Steve. They escape the mansion, but then Malgosia shows up with a new great hog and takes the orb of dominance, and then Garrett sacrifices himself to save Henry and Steve. Eventually, they all reunite with Emma Myers and Dawn, and Emma Myers apologizes to his little brother for being a little unruly bitch, and they all make up. And then Jack Black says, "First we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft." Truly peak cinema right here. And then there's a big action scene where Malgosia summons the Great Darkening, and then Jack Black and his little companions all summon iron golems and wolves to attack all the piglins, and it's in this dumb fun action scene or whatnot. Henry almost dies while trying to get the orb, but then gets saved by Garrett, who uses that water bucket trick earlier. Should have used a horse or a boat, and the day is saved. Well, Gosha tries to do the cliche thing, but Steve knows it's coming from a mile away and leaves her to die. And the ending scene where all of his companions, like Garrett and his buddies, just all leave the world and ask Steve if he wants to come, and he says, "Yeah, sure, fuck it." And then there's a big dance party, and then it's the end of the movie. The Jennifer Coolidge subplot. It was funny, but the way it was focused is just so weirdly off. Like, it really doesn't get much focus after the dinner scene with Jeb and whatnot, and they don't really appear again until the very end of the film, where Matt Berry voices the villager, and it's kind of funny. I wish Dan Lloyd got to voice one of the villagers, but oh well, a man can dream. Maybe the sequel will fix that. Oh well. For my final thoughts in the movie, I think the emotional moments could have been handled a bit better, but to be honest, this movie is just way too goofy, so he kind of didn't give a fuck about it. And I wish some of the cameos were a little better. Like, to be honest, the YouTubers don't even talk at all in this movie. Like, I'm surprised that they just don't really interact with the main characters. Ratpat had more of a prominence in that movie. Hell, even Technoblade had more of a prominence to this movie than the fucking YouTubers that appear in this fucking movie. Like, I wish Dantian got to talk, like LD Shadow Lady and Afmao. Minecraft Diaries died for this shit. And also this shit. And to be honest, the movie doesn't look too great, and to be honest, it could have been a bit better, but to be honest, the CGI isn't too terrible, to be honest. At least it looks better than The Flash, but that's not really saying much. And that's my final thoughts on the movie. Like, I really don't think it's a good movie, but I had a good time with it, and it's a 5 out of 10. Next time, get more cameos like the Yogscast or whatever. Until then, wait, who's that? Oh, you got to be Oh yeah, one more thing. This movie had some of the most insane audience reactions I've ever seen for a Minecraft movie. I mean, a movie, I guess. And to be honest, I truly missed out. This is what I get when I watch the movie on a Thursday afternoon. Anyway, here's some of the most insane audience reactions I've ever seen for them. Until then, thanks for watching, and of course,
The Nether.
First we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft! 3,
Yes, we're here.
The cinematic universe begins.
Hi, sorry to bug. I used to live here, and I'm Steve.
Oh, is this about that chest in the attic?
Yeah, I'm so glad that's still around.
Hey, you want to come in? I'm Alex, by the way.
Yeah!